Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you how you can create a pie or a donut chart. So to create a pie or a donut chart we need to come over here in the charts, and in the charts you have the option pie chart. Let's drag it on the right hand side and let me expand it a little bit. First thing is add a dimension. So if you add a dimension, let's say customer segment. Why I am choosing customer segment? Because it has 5 or less than 5 values. Choosing something like customer name is not a good idea because there are hundreds of values. So that's a thumb rule if you are creating a pie chart, which at least I feel, and it's a recommendation given in other books which are on the topic visualization best practices, that if your dimension values are 4 or 5 or 6 at the max, choose the pie chart to show the relative contribution. And if it is like 10, 15, 20, it's never a good idea to use the pie chart or the donut chart. So let's use the customer segment over here, and let's add the measure, which is sum of sales. Once it is added, you can see that the values are coming for the customer segment and their respective values. Now I can go actually into the appearance, and over here I have the option where I can either choose the pie or the donut. As I choose the donut, there is a circular area in the middle. It has gone it is now not appearing. And once you are done with what kind of chart you need, you can actually then further come down over here regarding colors, which is pretty interesting. By default it is auto, so let me remove that, and right now it is coming as single color. But if I can choose the color by dimension, right? I can choose the color by measure, and I can choose the color by expression. So I think measure makes here a lot of sense, which clearly indicating that dark is where the maximum sales, followed by a little less darker, and then same for rest of the other categories. Once you are done, click on the done, and here you have your beautiful donut chart. Or if you need pie chart, you can have a similar pie chart at your disposal to show it in your chart. So as you can see, it has 5 values within the dimension. So corporate, home office, consumer, small business, actually 4. Customer segment is basically the title or the dimension name. So 4 values are there, so it's a good idea that I'm showing it, and I can clearly see which category is contributing the max, which category is contributing the less. So that's about how you can create a pie or the donut chart within the QlikSense and use it in your report and dashboard. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let's create the combo chart. Alright, so to create a combo chart, let me delete this chart and let me take the combo chart from here and put it over here. So combo chart is basically a combination chart where you have the combination of bar chart and line chart. So for that, let's add the dimension. The dimension I will choose will have some 10 or 12 values. So product subcategory is something which I will choose for this example, and I will choose a measure, which is sum of sales. So what I'm showing over here is the the sum of sales for each of the product subcategory. Once we have added the information for the bar, we need to come over here in the measure to get the line chart as per the indication given over here that it is a bar chart and a line chart combination. So the combination which I think will make sense is the profit on top of sales for each of these categories. So for the height, let's add the profit, and the profit is over here. I will go into profit and I will get the sum of profit. So up to me whether I want sum of profit, or even I can have the average of profit, but that's okay. So now I have both the sum of sales, and for each of the category whether I am getting enough profit out of it or not. So for example, here in this case of tables, the sales is high and the profit is a little bit less. But here in case of telephones and and some value, the profit is really high. So it will allow me to focus on which category I really need to focus and which category is something which is going really well. So this is how, first of all, you can create the combination chart. That's the basic setting that you need to do. But if you come over here in the profit, it is something interesting if I go down, because it will allow me to choose that instead of line chart, I can even have the bar chart, or I can even have the marker. And as you can see, if you want, you can even have the value on the primary axis, but I recommend that the measure is different than the primary axis, then keep it on the secondary axis. So you can actually choose all of those values. And finally, if you have or if you want to add another value for the height, let's say another line chart, then you can create by adding one more value for the height. And this way you can make your chart more and more complex as per your business needs. But I would just suggest that do not go beyond 2 height, because it may confuse the user. But at the end of the day, it is totally up to you how you want to show it. If it makes sense that you want to add 1 or 2 or 3, then it's up to you. But my suggestion is 1 is good, 2 is more than enough. So that's pretty much it in this video, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, let's create a line chart. And if you have previously created the line chart, you would know that line chart is especially useful in showing the trend, and trend is shown on the over the period of time. So let's go into edit mode, and let's delete this. And to create a line chart, let's take the line chart over here. Let's add a dimension. So for order date, let's add month, and let's add a measure which is sum of sales. So we have Jan, Feb, March up until December. We have the different month, and let's add one more dimension, which is let's say in each year we want to see how the sales are coming. So once I click on done, here is a line chart which is clearly indicating when the ups and downs are happening, and over a period of time whether the sales is reducing or sales is increasing. So 2009 is basically your red line, yellow line, and this is little hard, but what you can do is click over here, and it will clearly show you what kind of line it is. So I can clearly see that, okay, this is a blue line, and over here you have the green line. So that's how you can even highlight it. So let me cross this because I don't want it that value. So I now clearly see that 2010 indicates this particular line. So this basically shows me the trend over a period of time. Now, like I said, that you can change the colors and appearance. Let's see the appearance section over here, because that plays a lot of a role. So two things, you can create a line chart as well as you can create an area chart. So both the charts you can create from this section, and if you see, it starts showing you the different options. So stack area, how you want to show the stack area, like this, or a different way like this, a different stack area for different one, and couple of other properties. But let's keep ourselves on the line chart. And over here it is showing us the different properties. Again, I will focus on the colors. It allows us to, I have just removed the color, and now the single color is coming, but as you know, I can choose by the dimension, or I can choose by the expression based on what my need is. So it basically allows us to choose from the different colors. But for now, I think I'm good with what was shown earlier. I think this is pretty enough as compared to what is given to me. Then you have the x-axis and y-axis values on which you can change the properties and make it a little bit different if you have a need. But mainly I want to show you how basically you want to create it, and option like how you can convert a normal line chart into an area chart, so that if you want to play around and want to see whether line chart is not something what you need but the area chart, and area chart is not given over here, you should know that it is a part of the line chart. So that's pretty much it about the line chart in this video, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let's create a simple table. So I will go over here in my sheet and let me create a new sheet because we have been doing a lot with the existing sheet. So I will say sales 2 or maybe sales analysis, whatever I need. And here I have my different sheet. So let me add a table over here, and over here it is asking me to add a dimension. So let me add customer segment, let's say a very simple one, and let me add the measure. So as you could observe, if I press on the column, it is either asking me to enter a dimension or the measure value. So let me add the measure, and let me add the sum of sales for the sake of simplicity. And here is my very simple table. If I click on done, this is my very simple table. Total is coming on the top. Down there you have the different segments. Now let's say I want to add the dimension, and I want to say that related to customer, so only two values are there. So let me add the product subcategory, and as you can see it is coming at the end, but let me drag it up here. So now for each of the customer segment I have their respective per product category. So if I click on done, this is how my table will look like. I can scroll up and down based on my need and clearly see for each of the customer segment how my product subcategory is doing. But if you want, you can even have the product subcategory up here and clearly see for each of this product subcategory their respective segment and how they are doing. So basically I want to say that you can play around with this and get the idea about how you want to set your fields. Now let's add another measure in this, since we are here. So we will add profit, and let's add the average of profit, and it has been added. It's just that I need to drag, right? So it's showing us the average profit. Doesn't look good, so let me change it to sum, right? So now I am here and done, and I can see both the sum of profit and sum of sales along with the product subcategory and customer segment. So this is how you can keep on adding the values based on what your need is, the dimension or the measure, and it will start showing you the values into the simple table. And there are a lot of features that you get. So for example, if I expand this, you get the limitation. Suppose you want to show the top 10 values of the customer segment, you don't want to include the null values, all of those kind of things, as well as show column only if, so something based on some condition you want to have some background color condition, you have to have some text color for conditional coloring, all that you can have it within this particular field. Similarly, if I go into the appearance, so I can choose whether I want the totals over here or not. So totals has been disabled, and now whether I want on top or bottom, I can choose based on my need, and I want to freeze the first column. All of these things are pretty intuitive in the nature, and as you disable it, all of these things get displayed, and you can basically experiment with it to make your table more meaningful. So one last thing is sum of sales and sum of profit. How you can change it? Well, very simple. You need to go into the respective these labels wherever this is. So sum of sales, and over here sum of profit. You can change the label, and to change the label over here you need to just unlink it because it is a part of the master item. Once you unlink it, you can change the label as per your needs. So that's about how you can create a very simple table and apply a different kind of settings into the simple table and make it more meaningful for your users. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let's go ahead and create a pivot table. So pivot table, if you have been creating it, you know that it's a great way of summarizing a data. So let's create a similar table within the pivot. So we want to add the dimension, which is customer segment and product category. So customer segment, and let me add a measure, which is sum of sales. Very simple table, right? Now for row and column, where I want to add it. So let me add the product subcategory into a column. So product subcategory, and for now let me scroll it a little bit, let me scroll this little bit so that you can see it how it is looking like. And if I click on done, for now this is how your normal table looks like, and this is how your pivot table will going to look like. And as you can see, I'm using my scroller to go left and right and see it in action. So this web, since it is a long, it is little difficult to read, but this kind of a setting is more meaningful for the eyes, and that's why pivot table provides us a lot of value. And if I go into the edit mode, I have the option that apart from the sum of sales, if my need is to add another measure like profit, I can even add that. But as you know, if I keep on adding, it will increase the complexity. So sum of profit. So now sum of sales, sum of profits are coming here. If I click on done, this is how my value is coming for each of the appliance and consumer, corporate, or home office. I can clearly see how my sum of sale and sum of profit is doing in their respective categories. So that's very quickly about the pivot table that you can create. But as you know, it has the standard option like sorting, add-ons, appearance. I have been talking about those in a lot of other videos, so it will be a repetitive if I had keep on mentioning that. But I will greatly encourage you that you do kind of play around with these settings and try to see what they are really providing you. And in case of questions, you can always come back. Hi there, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, let's talk about the text and image. So let me drag it over here. And why you would use it? Well, in most of the reports or dashboards, you may want to add logo, you may want to add some commentary related to the data points that you are showing, some valuable information in terms of text or image. So you can actually drag this like I dragged it, the text and image option over here. You can drag it and click on this plus. As I add it, it will ask me to enter anything, so I can enter whatever. This is the sales analysis sheet or whatever I want to enter, right? So if I don't want to enter text but I want to enter image, I can come over here, insert an image. I can go in app, or I can add some of the default options over here. So for example, let's say one of the option over here is pretty nice. I saw it in the Qlik. So click default flower. If I click it over here, this is how it looks like: green, leaf, orange. I mean, what I'm just trying to show you is how you can insert it. So let's go and insert it, and over here then you can basically start using it. And once you click on done, you will see it. But before I click on done, I will just show you that you can even link it. So if I click on this link is enabled, and I can see I can give the link information. So once I click on done, I have the leaf over here, which I can present it over here. Like generally at the top you have the company logo either on the left side or on the right side or on the middle. You can decide the location based on what your needs are. So that's basically, you know, how you can add the text or image into it. But if you have a need where you want to add your custom image, then what you can do is you can come over on this location. Within your user, there will be document folder, which is a default folder in the Windows. There will be a folder Qlik, sans, content, and default, and within the default you can place, as you can see right now I'm using leaf, and I can just simply go ahead and put my images over here, and I can start using the other images, the custom images that I need. So that's pretty much about how you can create the text or the image content within the Qlik Sense and make your Qlik Sense application more interactive and more familiar for your company users. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the box plot chart. So box plot chart is a statistical chart which shows the summary of data based on the dimension you choose. So for example, we want to see the summary of customers, how they are distributed, or maybe products. By product name, we want to see how our products are distributed for sales or for profit. So if you want to know more about box plot, because it is little difficult for a beginner to explain, so what I have is a very simple Wikipedia which has a very detailed text about how the box plot chart looks like, what are the types, what are the variations, so on and so forth. So if you're interested in that, you can look at it. But let's go back and just see how we can create it, because interpretation is pretty long and I have just kept it out of it from this video. If you're interested, you can visit Wikipedia. Alright, so let me just delete it. What I'll do is, let me just simply replace it by dragging the box plot to here, replace with box plot. Alright, now we have the dimension, so I will add dimension. Let's say I want to see the box plot by customer name, and I want to add the measure that I want it for sales, and here is my simple box plot. So if I click done, for now this is what my box plot looks like. And if you hover over a mouse to the box plot, it shows box end, third quartile, median, first quartile, minimum. All of this explanation is given, but at a high level, these blue are nothing but outliers, which says this is basically lying out of the boundary of this box plot based on the definition it has. And what is the median? So this is basically a median value, the middle value. What is the upper boundary and the lower boundary, and what this box is basically 25 to 75% of observations. So as I said, it is a bit technical. I'm keeping the interpretation out of it, but let's say we want to further enhance it, so we can go into edit mode. Over here we have given one dimension, which is customer name. Let's add one more. We want to see customer name by customer segment, let's say. So now very nice, we have 4 different box plot chart, as you can see. So I will click on done, and here we are clearly seeing the 4 different segments that we have for our customers, and clearly see in the consumer we have a very high outlier in this case, which was earlier not available. So that's how you can basically do the visual discovery. And then let's say you have the other dimensions through which you want to filter, you can have it, right? So for example, if I go into the edit mode, if I just drag the filter pane somewhere, maybe over here, and add a dimension, maybe what, product category, right? Done. So now I can choose for any of this box plot the product category, let's say furniture. Now I can see the distribution of data for each of my customer segment for my product category furniture. So that's how you can make more and more complex, but since this video is for beginners, so I will just stop it here. You can add as many as dimension you want, which is relevant for your dashboard, and keep making the changes into your box plots until unless it satisfies all your needs. But it is a very nice and useful chart, or for all those who really want to see what is going on in the data and want to drive the insights from the data. So that's pretty much about it, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you how you can create a gauge chart. So what do we have here within the charts section is the gauge chart, and as you would aware that gauge chart is kind of a speedometer like you would see in your car dashboard, and it helps to know at which location you are. For example, if you are driving at the speed of 40 miles per hour or 80 miles per hour, so it basically tells the similar indicator about business whether we are sitting on 1 million of sales or 5 millions of sales. So without much talking, let me drag it over here. And yeah, it is just asking about one measure, so let's give it a one measure, which is sum of sales. And right now if you see 14.92 is the sum of sales. So if I click on done, it's entire one color, and office supplies, technology, whatever I select, it will gonna work. So if I just click cross and 14.92, but probably that's not how you have seen the speedometer in the car as well, or as well as in the real dashboard. They have some good indicator like yellow, green or red about indicating how you are doing or how the KPI is doing. So for that, let's click on edit and go to appearance, and within appearance we need to specify the segments. So use segments and basically specifying the limits. And before I specify the limit, we need to specify the ranges, which is 0 to max 100. So 100 is not really the limit because our value is going up until 14.92. So let's take something like 16 million as an figure, just a little bit ahead than what is our real number is. So 16 million is the value that we need to take. So our final value is coming somewhere over here, and what do we have? 16 million at the end, just so that somebody has a good indicator, or maybe in future if your sales is increasing by 1 million or 2 million, you don't really have to adjust. Well, then you can go ahead and add the limit and add the limit again. And from here, if I just drag it down, I can specify this particular section or this particular section by dragging my these indicators. Very easy, as you can see, or I can specify the value over here as well. All right, once I'm done, let me indicate that this is red, because if we are having less sales, a little bit less than 6 million, then it is red. And if we are here, then it is yellow, and if we are here, then it is green. Make sense? Now let's click on done. All right, if I click on furniture, so furniture sale is somewhere around 5.18 million and it indicates red. But if it is furniture plus technology, then we are coming in the green area. Similarly, you have filters like sales representative, sales manager, or general manager of sales, and keep seeing how they are doing based on the different dimensions, different mix and match of the dimension based on your selection. So as you can see how easy it is to create a gauge chart. Just specify some of the dimension, just drag a couple of limits, and within few minutes your gauge chart will be ready. So that's about it, how you can create gauge chart in the ClickSense, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let's talk about the histogram, another statistical chart like box plot, and let's see it in action. And as you know, if you want to furthermore know about the histogram, then you can always go to Wikipedia for understanding why you really need it, but again it is used for checking the distribution of data in statistics. Alright, so let me delete this section. Let me drag histogram over here and add a field. So what field we want it? So if you notice, it is not saying that add a dimension or add a measure, it is just saying add a field. So let's add a field, let's say order quantity in this case. So here, if I just click on the done, that's how the order quantity is. And basically it is saying that, let's say for order quantity over here, which is 7, anywhere between 7 and 10.5, the frequency or the count is 675. That means it has been ordered 675 times. Let's go ahead and take another example. Instead of order quantity, let's add sales. How about that? So that's how the sales looks like, and over here it is indicating that sales is between 0 to 6,000, where the maximum sales is, and the frequency is 7.75k. That means most of the orders are appearing here. So couple of things that you can do is first of all, go to histogram setting, and instead of auto, you can change some of the settings, like you want to display number of bars or bar width on x-axis. This looks a little bit interesting. So if I go into the front end, it looks a little bit more professional. As you can see, it is coming down properly and clearly indicating that from 0 to 20k it is going. Similarly, how many bar width, what is the bar width that you need, what is the offset, or if you want to count distinct value. So different configuration that you want to specify related to the bar chart that you want to display. Again, you have some add-ons, like you want to include zero value orders, like where the sales is 0 or not. You want to add any kind of reference line, very straightforward, just specify the value or the formula. Again, if you want to change some presentation about how the grid line spacing is, you want to add or remove the labels, coloring y-axis and x-axis, you can play around with that, but that's how the basic setting is, just to provide the field, just to change some of the histogram settings about whether you want bar width or you want a number of bars. Up to you, based on what you are really looking for, and you will get a beautiful looking bar chart. I'm sorry, histogram chart. So that's pretty much about it. Histogram. I really encourage that if you have never used it, first understand what histogram is all about, and then come over here and start playing with this data to understand what the result is really indicating. And this is a very interesting one if you know what this chart is really saying. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you how you can create a KPI chart, which is one of the interesting chart as it needs to be present in each and every dashboard based on what your key performance indicator management is tracking. So let's go to edit mode. Let's get the KPI and drag it over here. Oh, I want to cancel it. I don't want to convert or replace. I just dragged it incorrectly. Yeah, this looks good over here, and as you can see, it is saying add measure. So let's add sum of sales. It's 14.92 million, right? And if we come over here and drag this, we have the first KPI which we have specified. It also allows you to specify the second KPI. So what the second KPI basically really means is that if you have something related to sales, for example profit, right, on this sales how much profit we have done, then you can specify that, because it provides some additional meaning to the KPI. So profit and sum of profit, and as you can see, sum of profit is coming 1.52 million against the 14.92 million of sales, right? Once you have specified this is what all you need to do. Then you come on over here as an appearance. and you have some general settings about show titles and details and presentation. Again, very interesting how you want to display, center, left or right. So center is good. Font size, you want large or medium. I think medium is always good because it is adjustable, and small is really small. So I think I like medium. Link to the sheet. If you need to link to another sheet, you can enable and select a sheet from here. For example, my new sheet or any other different sheet that you have. Click cancel for now. And the second, after that, interesting thing is for first measure and second measure, you can provide conditional coloring. If you enable that, you can specify the limit, on which limit. Let's say up to 5 million is red, 5 to 10 million is yellow, and 10 to anything above 10 is green. Like this we have specified in the gauge chart. You can even specify it over here and make your KPI chart responsive enough based on the selection you are making and the number it is showing to you. So that's about how you can create a KPI chart within QlikSense. Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, let me show you how you can create a map chart. So for that, let me go to the next sheet or create a next sheet because it has become really busy. Tutorial, just add it. Click outside, click it over here, and let me bring map over here, right? Maybe here, and it will display in a couple of minutes or seconds, I would say. So here is my map. What kind of layer I want to add? Your data as a layer, display it on the map setting, and appearance, what kind of appearance it should have. All right, so let's go to layers and add a layer, and I want to add a point layer in this case, which is much more visible in this case. So add a dimension. Dimension should be your country or region, stuff like that. So I added the region. As you can see, it will update the values accordingly. And right now it is showing you some of these values like blue dots, which you can change based on the settings that you have. For example, if I put the region over here, and first of all, what the field and the value is, and if there is any limitation. But what is interesting is the size and shape. So size by our interesting sum of sales, right? So I will just pick the sum of sales from here, and I can increase or decrease the bubble size based on what my needs are. And if I want, I can change from bubble to triangle or square, pentagon or hexagon based on what my range is. So by default it is an auto range, but I can specify my custom range in this case, but I am fine with what is auto showing over here. In the colors, by default the color is automatic. However, you have the option that you want single color or by dimension or by measure. So by measure is really interesting. I will just select the measure, and the measure I want is the profit, right? Sum of profit. So now the profit, as you can see, is clearly indicating that this is a lighter area, that means the profit is less, and this is the darker area, indicating the profit is high. So for example, here in this case the profit is really high. So let me click on done, and here in Ontario the profit is high as well as sales is high, but here in this Quebec county the profit is low but the sales is relatively high. So that's how you can basically configure different properties like coloring or size and shape based on the needs that you have, and the chart will going to populate automatically for you based on the values that you are specifying. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let me show you the scatter plot chart. So I am just dragging the scatter plot here, and let me correct the dimension of or the boundaries similar to the map chart which I explained in the previous video. So the scatter plot, I need to add a dimension, and it should be a detailed one which is having a lot of value. For example, the product name or the customer name. So customer name is something always interesting, and most of the time you will find it on the scatter chart. So let's click it over here. Add a measure, sum of sales, add a measure, profit, because profit and measure, profit and sale will be on the X and Y axis, and these are all your customers. And that's pretty much it. All you need to do to create a scatter chart, right? So if I click on done, this is all my scatter chart, and let's say if I click it over here, and this will enable this lasso selection. I will click lasso, and I say that I want to select everything here, and if I confirm, this is how my selection will now look like, right? If I want to further select, I will first select something, enable the lasso, and then let's say I want to just select this and confirm the selection. This way I can keep on selecting by finding the cluster of data, which is another very important thing that you want to take care about your business excuse me, which will basically tell what this particular customer is. So cluster of customer is, so for example, these are like high sales but low profit, or high profit but low sales number. That means the sales value is less but your profit is high, something like that. And you want to find these interesting things, and which is available, which can be available with the help of the scatter plot. For example, here it is profit, it is indicating 0 profit, and there are customers below to this, so you are interested in knowing. So what you can do is come over here, select the chart, enable the lasso, and just say, okay guys, you are here, so let me find you and let me confirm this. So here it will further drill down if you want. So for example, select it and come over here, all these guys, right? And yeah, and confirm this. So this will enable you to understand what are these guys which are having negative profit and where they are related. So based on that, you can see that probably most of them are coming from this west region here in this case. So that's about how you can create the scatter chart and do the selection and find the clusters of data. So we covered a lot in just a few minutes. So yeah, that's pretty much it in this video, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video let me show you the tree map chart, another very interesting chart. And I find it sometimes it is the replication of both bar as well as pie, but that's my interpretation. I mean, I can be wrong or I can be different than your interpretation, but let me show you how you can make it. So what I'll do is I will just drag them a little bit up so that I can make a space for tree map, and tree map is down here, and let me drag it over here. It is asking me to add a dimension. So for example, let me add not customer segment, but let me add product category first. Add a dimension measure, which is sales. Now it clearly indicates that first it is technology, which is having highest proportion. So as you can see, it is showing you the proportion as well as kind of a bar kind of a thing, right? So that's why my interpretation is. But things become really interesting when you add another dimension. So product category is related to product subcategory, because having the product category all just the single one as a dimension doesn't make sense. So let me select product subcategory, and now you can see a lot of valuable information. So if I click on done, clearly indicating that in technology you have the office machines as the highest one. Second one is the telephone and communication, then copier and fax, and computer peripherals. So tree map basically helps you to create a tree kind of a structure and clearly identify what are the categories, or which are those categories which is having highest proportion as compared to other, and below to that category you can have subcategories. So for example, we have product and product subcategory, and I think you have the option of further adding the dimension, and as you can see, you can have the size by sales as well. You have the option of adding the alternative, but I'm not applying right now. But you have a couple of options like data handling and appearance, through which you can further specify how you want to further customize it. So that's about how you can create a tree map chart, what a tree map chart is, what's its value proposition, why you should use it. I'm seeing that in modern dashboards where we are showing a lot of condensed informations. For example, you want to show a kind of a pie chart which is having hierarchical data like this and a lot of different values, then you can skip the pie chart and start using the tree map chart, which is available here in QlikSense. So that's pretty much about it for tree map, and let me meet you in the next video with some new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the distribution plot. So let's drag the distribution plot over here, and as the name of the plot, it shows the distribution of data. So let's create and then try to understand what it is showing. Alright, so let's add a dimension, and let's go ahead and add customer segment. It's an easy one, and let's add a measure, simple one, which is sum of sales. And now you can see there are 4 points, and it is showing a range, and so entire range of the sales for these 4 customer segments. So let me click on done, and here the first dot point is indicating the first category, small business, second category, consumer, third category, home office, and finally fifth one is a corporate. So this chart is basically a very helpful in terms of understanding how overall the range of sales is. That means the starting point till ending point, what the range is, and then the different dimension points. So here the dimension we took was the customer segment, and under customer segment you had 4 different values: corporate, home office, consumer, and small business. It shows how these 4 values of these dimensions are present on this entire range, and one can clearly figure it out that corporate is the one which is at the top as compared to small business, which is at the minimum, and rest of the other 2 categories are also near to the minimum. Now we can make this chart even more complex after understanding this. So we can click on edit and go to add, and let's add the product subcategory. Now you see we have made this chart more complex. So now if I click on done, for each of the product subcategory I have the range, how the range is. So first thing I can clearly see is office machine is the one which is leading this entire range, followed by telephone and communication, and at the end you have office furnishing. So office furnishing is basically the one which is having the very less range. That means products are pretty much are within a very tight range as compared to office machine where there is a wide range, and this chair and chair mats, tables, this basically represent that there is a healthy range which is present. And for each of the one you can see that corporate is basically leading in most of the cases, and how the different data points over the dimension is representing within this range. So that's a quick idea about the range chart, of how you can create it and how you can interpret it, and how you can finally add more dimension and make it a little bit more complex for your easy data analysis. So this charts helps a lot to understand the different categories that you have within the dimension, and to understand the distribution of data, like you try to understand from other charts. For example, box plot we discussed, or histogram we discussed. All of those are also useful in terms of understanding the distribution of data, but more on the statistical way. And this chart is helpful in terms of more of a range, which shows a range of distribution, and how the different data points are on this range. So I hope this you find it useful, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, let's change the gears from visualization to scripting a little bit. And first of all, let's see something related to data import. So if I go to data manager, then we see the tables that we had loaded earlier, orders and return. And now let's try to add another table. I will go to my computer. Within the desktop, I have created sales one table within the sales. So sheet 1 contains, if you see, kind of a pivot table that I had created over there from the order sheet. So it's nothing new that I have done. I have simply taken the region here on the column, on the rows, and on the product subcategory is on the rows. So this is a pivot table, but to do the analysis within QlikSense, you need to have the long data structure. Right now what it has is the wide data structure. If you see, the columns are in the wide structure, but the long structure is like this, that all of these columns will come under the product subcategory, respective regions and respective sales. So the option over here is not present, so we need to go back to the, or we need to explore this option within the data load editor. So let me click cross over here and go over here and data load editor. It's saying unsaved changes. All right, I'm fine with that, no issues. So data load editor has the section for the scripting, and as you can see, one of the section is over here where the earlier loaded tables are present, returns and orders. And if you are coming first time here, you will find a small unlock button, for example like this. So it's a different script that it has generated, and if I need to work over here, I need to unlock this script. And what does this indicate is basically, so far I have been working within the data manager for importing the data. So you can either work in the data manager or in the data load editor, but not together in both the settings. So that's why this script is unlocked. And earlier this was also unlocked when I was playing around with that, and I made it unlock by simply clicking over here like this, unlock. So I am here in this section, and let me come over here and let me come over here to go to my folder in the desktop, and let me get the file which is sales and select. And it is coming, as you can see, showing me the sheet 1 again, and it's showing me sum of sales, kind of a structure which you get when you create a pivot table. So it has all the headers over here. So what I'll do is I will increase the header size, and region will come on the first, and different product groups will come over here, and sales is here. So far I'm good, and here is the script. So I will go ahead and say insert script. Now what I need to do is I need to take all of these different product subgroups into the kind of long structure. So what I will do is the cross table, CR OSST cross table. I just press the tab, and within that I need to provide the first dimension, which is product subcategory. So that's basically information for the different columns like appliances, binders, bookcases, and all of that. So I will say not here, I will simply say product underscore sub underscore category, and here I will say sales. Alright, I think I'm good. If I close that, that's it. That's all I need to do. And if I hit the save and click on load data, so it's saying duplicate derived field, the error got from order date, ship date using auto calendar. Data has not been loaded. Close. What I'll do is I think here I think it is creating some issues, so let me just unlock and let me see if I can delete that. Delete. Alright, that was kind of a duplicate feed. Yeah, now it has completed properly, and there is one synthetic key. I will explain in a different video about synthetic key. It's an important topic, so let's close for now, and let's do it again, and yeah, we are good. Now we can simply look at the data model viewer, and within that we will see that we have the new table, which is sheet 1. It has created this synthetic table, but that's fine. It has sales, region, and product subcategory, which is a long structure. So, and now you can go into the app overview, open your sheet, and start using this new table. So cross table is basically the one which I wanted to talk about, and if I just quickly show you over here in the fields, all the tables, if I say sheet 1, so I have three fields which I created. If I create a simple table, let's say, and add dimension, and I want to add something related to product underscore sub category, add one more column. I think that was region, yeah, and finally there was this measure which was sales. So now you get this done, and here is your sales total, this product subcategory, and the respective regions. So that's how you can change the cross table into a long table and make use of this into ClickSense. So that's pretty much it, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the joins. So joins are basically very important concept into any business intelligence tool, or if you are coming from the SQL background, I think I don't really need to say how important a join is, and day in and day out you have to work with the joins, right? So how does join work? Well, it works in the background of the script. So if I go into the data load editor, let me click OK. I'm not worried about the changes that I made. So so there is some script which is generated automatically. In the previous video we had talked about the cross table, which converts the pivot table into a long table. For that analysis that you can do within the ClickSense, as that's a requirement that it should be a long table. Now if you need to join, let's say for example we had explored the two tables like orders and their returns, right, in the previous videos. So these are the two tables, and if you see, by default they are joined by the order ID. So in ClickSense, if you are not providing any kind of join keyword or anything, what ClickSense internal structure does is it looks at the order ID here in this case and create a join automatically, and that's basically a default join, and that is the outer join. Now if I, let's say, specify join over here, this will have the same impact, which was there without even specifying join, because that's the kind of USP of the ClickSense, that it creates automatic join based on the same field that are having same names. So that's the first thing is if there is a default join, that is the outer join. Now apart from that, you have the option that you can specify even the left join. Right now, when I specify left join, this is absolutely perfect, but it will do the join only with the previously loaded table. Let's say if there were table prior to that, then I would have to specify the name of that table. Name of table. Since there is nothing, it will not going to connect, but for, let's say, for the sake of this example, let's specify returns $, and now you are absolutely fine. So the main thing is, if you want to join, do a left join on the previous table, then you don't have to specify. It will by default take the previous table. But if there is any other table prior to the previous table, then you need to specify that name, a forced relationship. And what left join does, it takes all the values from the previous table or the table that you have specified and only the matching records. So let's say, for example, if it has 10 records, or the return table has only 10 records, or the 10 orders that has been returned, then only those 10 matching rows will come from this table and will be connected to this table. Right. After that, you have the right join that you can specify. Again, condition is same. It will do the right join with the previously loaded table, and we don't have to specify if that's what we need to do. But if there is any other table prior to this table, then and we want to do a join on that, then we have to specify the name of that table. So what it does is it creates a right join, and it first takes this table compared to left join, where left join takes this table as the first table. Right join takes this table as the first table. So if, let's say, it has 1000 records and this table is having only 10 records, then those 10 records, if it is matching the order ID with this table, will be joined to this table, and rest of the 990 records or the cells for this particular table will not be having any value. Right. So that's the right join. That means the table that you have, the latter table, all the records from this table and the matching records from this table. Whereas in case of left join, all the records from the earlier table and only the matching records from this table. So that's how you can basically create the different types of join based on the needs of your business requirement. So last but not the least is the inner join, and I think it is important that I mention that. And what inner join does is it will going to create the inner join between these two tables, and only the matching records will come. So for example, it has the let's say 10 different records, and the matching 10 records are here. Then only those matching records will come here, and you will get the output based on that. So left join, right join, inner join, outer join, I have shown you in a very short example and from the scripting perspective here. But there is a lot of material out there, and if you're coming from the SQL background, as I mentioned earlier, I think you are well versed with it. But if you are a beginner, then I would really suggest there is a really good material out there. If you just type joins or SQL join, then you will get a very good material and a very good information. I think I don't need to reinvent the wheel in that case. So that's about how you can specify the different types of join here and get the desired output. So that's pretty much it for this video, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic.